All right, so this is the third video in the series here about the scene analysis assignment. Hopefully it's not overkill. Hopefully you're not feeling too overwhelmed about it. If you are, please email me or video chat me so I can kind of walk you through it, because it's basically just you picking a scene from a movie and looking really closely at it after being informed about the names of some things that you normally see in movies anyways, okay? So don't stress about it too much. Don't worry about if you have the right term or whatever. If you're just looking closely at a scene from a movie and you can demonstrate that in one of the different ways that I'm going to show you here, you're going to be good. That's all I want you to do, so that you're just a little bit leveled up before we start studying some films and watching them for fun and all that kind of stuff. So I'm in the document right now. This is the assignment. It is going to be a little bit too much information, but some of you are left brain types of readers or whatever. So you can definitely look through this part of it and see if it helps you make sense of it. Otherwise, I'm going to kind of show you the grid below and how you can do your assignment by using screenshots, how you can use your assignment using WeVideo to make a video, how you can also maybe take a video of whatever scene you want to use using Netflix or Google Drive. And I don't know if I have a fifth thing. We'll see if I get there. So first of all, in this document here, I'm looking for you to find between 8 and 12 shots. And what I want them to be contiguous. In other words, like, I don't just want the greatest hits of a movie. Like, I don't want the part where the Batman does this in The Dark Knight and then the Joker does this thing in like an hour later and whatever. I would like it kind of like the one that I showed you, where it starts at like the 10-minute mark and then it continues until like the 10-minute and 30-second mark. Okay, so we're looking just at a tiny bit of a movie. We're not looking at the whole movie. We're certainly never going to do a scene analysis of like a whole movie. If you want to do that for the final, go for it. But that's going to be way more than I would ever ask you to do. So that being said, let's take a look at what is in this document here. You can work with other people, but you got to make it work. Like, we only meet 2 times in class. So if you're working with somebody else, that means you're willing to work outside of class, and that means you're either getting together online or you are able to work with somebody else in real life and being socially distant and careful and all that. I am not making you work in groups. If each and every one of you does this assignment and there's 30 of them, that's fine. If you, because it doesn't matter to me if there are 30 or 15 or whatever, like, you don't have to work with somebody else. If you can safely and efficiently do that, good. But you don't get extra time because we're not meeting, just so we're clear. So pick a scene from a movie. I'm going to share a couple movies with you, and you can certainly use those. I'll show you how you can add them to Google Drive and then add them to WeVideo if you want to use them. Otherwise, I'm willing to bet for our purposes, you're probably going to want to just do the screen record, which I'll show you in a minute here. And it's not the greatest audio, but it'll get it done. So pick a scene. I'm not too particular about what scene. Pick a movie that you know. Like, don't just randomly watch something that you don't know. I want you to kind of know what you're getting into, and don't think too hard about it, okay? It doesn't have to be your favorite scene. Just pick a scene that's not lame, of like person looking at person looking at person. Don't pick a lame scene. Pick something kind of interesting, all right? So you're probably going to be taking screenshots, or maybe you'll be recording the movie. You're going to be identifying what kind of shot or if sound is being used. You're going to be telling me what kind of lighting is being used in there. And then you're going to tell me, like, what's the overall effect of the entire scene? How did it tell us something about the characters? How did it tell us something about the movie or the plot or the bad guy or whatever? Okay, so down below here is this grid. And this grid right now is not populated with anything. And what I'm going to show you is how you could potentially do that. So the most basic way for you to do this assignment is to just bring up the movie in Google Drive or in Netflix, and I'll show you Netflix in a moment here. Make it a little bit bigger maybe. And what you're going to do is you're going to introduce the scene. So you would say, all right, I'm doing a scene from Pirates of the Caribbean. This is the scene where these 2 dudes fight and blah, blah, blah. You're going to do a better job than I'm just winging it here. And then you would show us the scene that you want us to see, okay? So then you would just hit play on it. And I'm not going to do that because you already kind of saw that in the previous one. But then also what you're going to do is you're going to do one of 2 things, okay? You're either going to then pause it and then talk and say, all right, now I'm going to show you the clip again, and I'm going to tell you what I saw. And if you're using Google Drive, one thing you could do is you could slow it down. And I know if you slow it down to like 50%, the characters all talk like they've been drinking a lot, and it's weird. But it allows you to have enough time to say, especially if it's real quick, here's a close up of this face, and here's a sound effect, and they play some hero music during the, sword fight and whatever. So you'd show a little bit of it, and then maybe you would narrate, say, all right, the camera's kind of reverse cutting over his shoulder. Now it's back on him, trying to show his reaction and blah, blah, blah. So basically you do the assignment. And the second time around, like when you're teaching it to me, you don't need to worry too much about talking over the sound and whatever. The first time around, we want to see it. The second time around, it's fine. In my example video, I put captions in there. I can show you how to do that, and I will in a little bit. Okay, so that is one way you could do it. I'm using Netflix to show you that while it's probably kind of a legal gray area to be doing this, we're not going to sell or profit from these or whatever. So if you need to get it from Netflix, it appears that it will allow you to play Netflix and screen record. You're not going to get really good audio because your computer speaker is going to be recording the sound that's coming out of the speaker at the same time. So it's going to be kind of warbly, kind of like my intro video with Indiana Jones or whatever. But not going to ding you on the grade because that's not the kind of person I am. So this way, instead of you just playing it and narrating it, what I would do is every time the screen changes, you're going to pause it and take a screenshot, okay? And you're going to do that because you're going to take those and put them in the grid. So I'm going to let it play, and I'm going to start with this one, all right? So I'm going to do a screenshot, and maybe you can see the little crosshairs on mine. So I'm going to take a picture of this, and this is a full shot of the car, whatever that thing is, and this husband and wife. Like if you're doing this scene from Lost in Space, you would know that these are husband and wife and they don't get along and whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, and then I would play it. Okay, and then when the scene changes, now we've got a medium shot. I would take another screenshot. See my crosshairs there? I would take a screenshot, and I'd be ready to say it switches from a full shot to a medium shot. And remember, a medium is like not the entire subject, but just what's important. Their faces is what's important here, I'd assume. Then it changes to another medium that shows their faces again. Nope. Now it's reverse cutting. Remember, that's the one where it's looking back and forth. Anyways, I'm kind of doing the assignment a little bit to kind of show you, but I would take a screenshot each time it changes. And then once I get to like 8 or 10 of them, I would be done with this part of it. Now, that being said, this also kind of breaks my rule because this is a really lame scene that I happen to have queued up. So don't just do when we're like 2 people are talking unless it's super important and significant and you make it seem like you find the value in it. This one's not real valuable. It just happened to be what I had queued up. All right. So next, I would like to show you how to insert these screenshots that I just took into the grid. Last way I think I'm going to show you how to do this is using the grid, putting the pictures in here. So in the previous video here, I just showed you I was taking screenshots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Insert. I'm using a Mac, so it's a little bit different than your Chromebook, but you're still going to click Insert. For me, I know my stuff is on. I'm going to select Image, sorry. For you, I don't know what options it's going to give you here. I'm going to have to upload from computer. You're probably going to do that as well. I know my stuff's on the desktop because I just took these screenshots. Where's my first one? Here's the first one. I'm going to pick that, and it's going to put it in there for me. And if I want that to be bigger, I can make it bigger, and it'll expand everything. Oh, maybe it doesn't. I need to move this over if I did. It's up to you. Like, well, that's really annoying. So let's back that up too and not do that. All right, so we got a picture in there. We would say, what kind of shot and angle is that? That's a full shot. Full shot of the rover and the characters. No sound, just no sound, just dialogue and people doing stuff in the background. If, as I continue to add pictures in here, like maybe it gets mysterious and there's like a part where they're adding sound, then later you'd have something to say about it. The lighting, it's daylight. There's nothing special about the lighting here. They're on another planet and whatever. So the overall effect, again, as I said, this is kind of a lame scene, but the overall effect of this one would be the importance. I think the husband is just concerned about this robot. I'm not going to get into the whole detail of the movie or TV show, but there's a robot and they're hoping the robot doesn't show up, and like then people will know that there's a robot and they'll be all scared and whatever. So the wife is working and loading the rover or unloading it. I don't know which one. And the husband is concerned about the robot. In the next one, it gets a little bit closer, and then whatever they talk about, or anyways, you get the idea. So you would put 8 to 12 of those little screenshots in here. And then like for me, you would maybe do a screen record of taking me through this. Like I would love it. I think it's kind of important. If you are doing a video, you could just record yourself showing me the clip of the video. Or you could just ask me if I have it and you can tell me where it is and I could watch it. But I do want you to record yourself either talking or like put yourself in the corner like I'm doing right here and walk me through this document. If you are in class, then I'd like you to fill out this document and have it on the screen. And then you can just get to Netflix or whatever and show it in class. If you're a virtual student, then you don't have that option. But you do have the option of screen recording this document. You have the option of making a wee video, which is what I'll show you next. Or you could do kind of a blend of the both. Or you could just kind of show the clip and then pause it and then move it back to the beginning of it and then talk during the clip where you explain in good detail like what you see. This is a close up. This is how they use the sound and whatever. All right. So next, I want to show you a little bit about how to use WeVideo. As we move on, I will show you a little bit more in depth, but WeVideo is something we're definitely going to come back to. And if we all go virtual, you're all going to get real good at WeVideo or some other video editor. Last thing I'd like to show you, which is maybe a little bit advanced, but we will get to the point where you are going to be editing and using WeVideo. So I'm using WeVideo to make a video about making WeVideo, and hopefully this doesn't just implode as I'm doing that. All right, so I'm already in WeVideo. I'll give you directions on how to join if you are having trouble doing that. You're going to create a new, maybe it's going to be, well, we could just call it a video. Let's walk through that here. So what's it going to do? It's going to take you to another screen. It's going to get things ready here for you. And it's going to ask you, what do you want to call this thing? What kind of video do you want it to be? I'm going to keep it in my project called Ways to Do the Scene Analysis because I have lots of projects. Start editing. All right, then you're going to get this right here. The things that you're going to use, you're probably not going to use import right now. You are probably going to use record or you're going to use narrate. Record will engage your webcam where it's going to simultaneously record you and your screen if you choose that. You can always do that and then choose not to use yourself. We're not showing these in class unless you make one that you choose to show in class. I would love to see you in there and I'll show you how to like make yourself tiny in the corner. I choose to be on there because I think you probably prefer to see people, although maybe you liked when I had the alternate footage of something that's not me in that other video or whatever. Maybe you thought that was ridiculous. It's both. Anyways, you could also just do narrate, which will allow you to just talk, which I did both in my previous video. So for record, I don't know what's going to happen if I do both of these, but I'll just start it. If you do record, you're going to have the choice of just webcam, which is probably not what you want because that would just be you talking into the screen. You could do screen, but then it's just going to show you silently moving the mouse around. Screen and webcam is probably what you want. And if you choose not to be on it, I will show you how to not be on it. So I'm going to stop this and then I'm going to go back to my other editing screen and show you some things. All right, now okay, so this is really like Inception now. Now I'm like in a video within a video, making a video, excuse me. So right now I am inside the video that I was making. The other one I had two WeVideo tabs open. So what I want to show you is I have all this media here and all the videos that I'm recording. Every time I hit stop, it just puts it in there. And as you can see, you have the video of me, but then you also have the video of whatever thing I'm showing you. So like here, it's showing you the video of when I was talking about Pirates of the Caribbean. Here's a part where I was talking about Lost in Space. You'll also notice that it's green behind me, and that's because I have a green screen. And what you can do, and what I can do, and what I do is I use something called chroma key, and you click on the color you want to make go away, and then you click on it, and what it does is it makes me a floating head. I could also put other color behind me or whatever. So I'm going to save that on that one. So when you see that, it's just going to be me floating over here. You can also do this where you click on the pencil, go over here to the, whatever you want to call it, the levels, and you can move the head around. You could also like make the head bigger and gigantic, which that sounds awesome. That's a great idea. That's what you want to see. Or you can make yourself real tiny and just put yourself in the corner and float and whatever. So we'll just save that in there. And later when you watch the video, you'll see this and then later you'll see me explaining it and it'll make sense later. So this is like a time travel video. All right, so WeVideo, you've got your video tracks and you've got an audio track. You're not going to be messing with the audio track. All right, people. So if you're still with me here, the last two things I was going to show you how to do, or I promised that I would show you how to remove yourself if you wanted to do the screen record, but if you didn't want to be in it, that's fine. I'll show you how to do that. And then I was also going to show you how to do the captions in case you wanted to try to do that as I had done it. And if there are some other little things that I think of, I will add them as well. So basically, if you're doing the screen and yourself, you get two different choices. You can choose that one or you can choose that one. So you can see, like if you wanted to make sure that you're not in there, select it and then just hit delete. Okay, I'm not going to do that because that would mess up the video that I've already made, but that's how you would take yourself out. If you wanted to just be on the screen and you wanted to get rid of the screen recording, you could just do the opposite and get rid of that. Okay, I'm going to undo that again. You could also, I think I showed just a moment ago, you can click on this first pencil and this will give you options like going in and changing your size and moving yourself around and whatever. It will also let you go in and mess with the sound. I'll show you a better way to do that. You can mess with the color and do other things. I usually just use this editing part to move me around. What I would show you is this second pencil here. And what that does is it gives you the option, the first time it gives you the option to make it like opaque. So if you do this, that means like you'll kind of, it'll look like you fade away, which I'm going to turn it off to not do that. But if you wanted to keep your audio and you wanted to just make your face go away, you see the audio track is still here. You could do this and like eliminate your face or whatever it is you took video of and just keep the audio. You could also do the opposite. I'm going to put this back before I forget. You could also do the opposite. If you click on the audio, notice it gives you that. You could have your audio, oops, sorry. If you click on it, notice it gives you a point and you can make it like spike down. And then you can do another one where you make it spike up and then down. And this is really annoying. So I'm just going to redo it because otherwise it would be me talking and getting quieter and then getting louder again and then getting quieter. There may be a reason to do that. When I have intro and outro music, that's how I do it, but I'm just going to undo those. But I wanted to show you that you can do that in any of these tracks, okay, that you can mess with the audio and do all that. Because this one down here is silent. If you click on, there is no audio option because it just recorded the screen and it was silent. So if you want to narrate, you have to do that. The other thing I was going to show you is how to add captions. And to do that, you need another video track. Right now you have two video tracks, but you need another one. So you're going to click the plus button, which maybe you couldn't see. Sometimes it doesn't show that, but there's a plus button above the tracks. Choose video, click add track, and it's going to give you another one up here. And then if you want to, you're going to go up to your text. You're going to click text. And it's going to give you, when you click on one, it'll show you what it looks like. You have all kinds of different ones. You have static ones, and you have call outs, and you have arrows, and whatever one you want to use is fine. Let's use a seasonal one here. Happy graduation. Which one should we use? Is there a fall one? Okay, no, we're not going to spend much time. That looks like a big beard. There we go. We're going to use the one with the beard, and we're going to put it over here, and we'll see when it shows up. Actually, I'm going to just delete this. It won't even show up at all. But I'll show you. What I normally have to do is make it a little bit bigger, and then you get the three dots above it. If you click on the pencil, it'll give you the editing. It'll say whatever you want to change it to. You can change the colors to whatever you want if you want to change that thing. Anyways, then you choose save changes, and if you want to do the preview, it'll show you like what this looks like. Audio track. You're not going to be messing with the audio track. Actually, let's back that up a little bit. We're going to move this on here so you can see like when I was talking about parts of the Caribbean. Here's the part where I was talking about. So what you'll notice is that you're seeing the Happy Festivus thing that I made, but not the thing below it. And that's because you need to think of everything like a cake. All right. If you have the frosting on top, you can't see the cake below. So in order to do that, if you have captions, like if you have weird captions like this, then they're going to cover it. If you do something like just some words here, which I would recommend that you do. I think I just did static ones. I did the sample text for when I did that. And I always make it a little bit bigger because otherwise it doesn't allow you to, well, there's two ways to make it bigger. You click on the pencil again, you get you're going to type stuff, and then you're going to move it like down here, and you're either going to make it like smaller or you're going to make it ridiculously big or whatever you're going to do. You're going to save it, and then I'll show you like what it does when you just put text in there. I was talking about Lost in Space. You'll also notice. Oh gosh, did I push it back too far? Okay, so you see the text doesn't like overcrowd your it doesn't overcrowd your picture. It doesn't overtake it, is what I should say. So those are a couple things you could do. Some other things that I could point out. When you are done with your video, you're going to click finish, and it's going to give you some options. Make sure you click public. Actually, if you're doing a video, hopefully I'll be working with you because we have lots of time before we get to that part, and I can help you out. So hopefully this has been helpful. I think that it's gone on a bit here, but the stuff at the end is a little bit more advanced. But for those of you who want to make a wee video, and if you are one of the virtual students, then I would strongly recommend that you do that, because I'm going to ask you to type things and make videos pretty much exclusively for the class. That doesn't mean you aren't going to do well if you don't do videos, but I'm going to ask that you try, and I think it's going to give you some skills that maybe you didn't think you were going to get. All right, so that's all for now. Email me if you're having trouble. If this seems overwhelming, I can certainly talk you through it, okay? See you around.